Buenos dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. What? He's a what? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. He's a paisa with a corrido habit. Bye-up, bye-up, bye-ay. Orale, as you can tell by that thumbnail, shout out to my paisas, man. You already know what it is. But as you can tell by that thumbnail right there, we're not even talking about paisitas today. We're talking about the one and only Snoopy Badass, right? Wow. This Vaulto's been in the airwaves or on the airwaves riding him for a minute, right? And I ain't got not one bad word to say about this guy. I like his music. I like his flavor. I like his stilo. The way that he's going, you know, the way that he's defending himself, I fucking appreciate that, man, right? We're definitely going to talk about it today. We're going to talk about how it correlates with Mexicanos, the Raza, and everything. Because the brothers, man, are the brothers from another mother, right? It's definitely a lot of love there and a lot of love lost. So we're going to get to it, man, on how it correlates, on how, right? Snoopy just put the real shit out there, man. And that's facts. So anyways, I'm looking at YouTube, right? And I know that Snoopy Badass has been going at it with Mascara for a minute, G Mascara. And G-Face has been trying to pull his cobijas and expose them. And I ain't never seen nothing yet that makes me think otherwise. I ain't seen nothing produced, no talks on the phones, none of that, homes, that makes me wonder. See, it's like a jungle sometimes that makes me wonder how to keep from going under. And I definitely haven't wondered or went under. None of that, right? If anything, I just see one guy who has an agenda to defame and mischaracterize this man, Snoopy Badass, just based on the fact he's jealous. Oh, he's jealous. Can I have some? Right? He's jealous. See, jealousy breeds envy, man. And envy breeds hate. And then hatred gets you caught up. Next thing you know, you're the one being hated on. So when it comes to the exposed game of one Snoopy Badass, you know, I went on and I've looked at it just because I was curious, you know, not because I thought it was serious. And I ain't seen a damn shred of evidence that speaks on that man ill will otherwise. But one thing I will say is this, man, you know, he's being hated on in a massive and major way. Maybe it's because he signed to Snoop Dogg, Death Row Records, huh? Maybe it's because he was out there really getting it and not a lot of people were on that winning team. Everybody's trying to be on Mayweather's nuts, that money team, homes, but no one got no money like Mayweather, and you ain't gonna get none, right? So when it comes to someone that's really pushing for his paper, pushing for his bag, people are gonna try to knock you off your mantle. They're gonna knock that down. They're gonna try to rip your crown off. That's how it goes. That's part of the game. You gotta understand that's coming. But at the same time, man, no man can judge another man just based on hate. I hate a world that's about hatred, man. But that's the world we live in, right? That was a double innuendo. Now, trip out. Snoopy Badass took to the airwaves the other day, and I happened to be on YouTube, and I seen it, right? I seen it, and when I seen it, I said, say what? Right? This Vaulto is tired, homes. But he's addressing his own gente. See, that's what happens. Your people are supposed to deal with your people. See, I learned that politically a long time ago, behind them walls, even on the calles within my gang, homes, that we deal with our own. There's no way possible in hell. I don't care where you're at, homes, especially not on a California prison yard like the 3 yards, or someone from another race, someone from another ethnicity gonna walk up on someone and check their paperwork or expose them. You know, if they see something ain't right, if they know of something, maybe his crime partner was a Mexicano, he's a black brother, his crime partner was a Mexicano, he done told or something, or vice versa, man. Yes, they will go forward that paperwork. Look, peep that out, homes, that's for your own safekeeping. Sounds good. Whatever you guys doing, let the wind blow on his ass, right? But as far as you actually walking up on another race in prison and be like, hey, homie, I'm gonna go there and need to see that paperwork, you know, you're going to get whacked right off the top. Their people are going to defend them no matter what, whether they're bad or good. They'll figure all that out later in the wash. That's how it is. So when I see people on No Pumper and I see people on other channels exposing different races' paperwork or talking shit about different races and trying to pull their G card, well, homie, don't spell it with the G because the G ain't in you. You can't do that. But that's what's been happening with Snoopy Badass. So Snoopy Badass decided that if for no other reason, he was going to defend himself. But he did it smart. He did it intelligently, and he defended himself to his own people. See, here's one thing about doing that that's so righteous. If you have something to say, you don't address the brothers. You don't address the Woods brothers. You don't address anyone but your own, because that's all it should matter to. If a fucking Africano is snitching on the Yarda homes, that's their business to remove him. That's their business to handle it. If they choose not to, well, then everybody's going to get involved. And now it's going to get real sticky and real tricky dance moves. Brisk, Rest in peace. It's going to get that way. And the reason it's going to get that way is nobody wants to function on the yard with what they consider trash or basura. It's just how it is, right? So at the same time, in the meantime, in between time, yes, there will be repercussions for non-action. But most group segments will take care of their business. If they know that they got someone frivolously running around on that yard that ain't righteous or kosher like a dill pickle, they're going to go ahead and snap into his Slim Jim. And that's just how it'd be. You got to understand that prison's different than the streets. But everything that's happening lately has been on the streets, or not even on the streets, but in Adam's studio. Caca, right? Mierda. That's what it is. It's just a whole bunch of poochie going on over there and slandering people because they don't get along or because they don't like them. So they put a little gaggle of girls together and they want to fucking do chisme. They want to be chismosas and talk shit about someone that they don't really even know about and pull some fake ass propaganda ass paperwork, AI shit, and talk that, right? Oh, I know all about that, man. That shit is very deceiving and it seems right at the time, but the fucking problem here is not the pulling of the paperwork and the talking shit. The problem is not doing it within your own carro, your own race. Vatos know that. So Snoopy Badass has something to say. And what he said, I'm going to keep it real. Now, a lot of people are not going to like what I have to say right now. A lot of people might fall off from my channel and be like, damn, Gun, I didn't know you had it. You was like that. I'm really not like that, but I'm a real one. And I got to keep it real, man, no matter if it hurts your heart or it helps your heart. You know, at the same time, man, not everyone's going to be happy with what I always got to say. And I'm not going to be happy with what I hear. But if we want realness, if we want some of the realest speech, we're going to get it right here. You know, I'm not going to fucking pull no, you know what I mean? So I'm not going to just add preservatives. I'm going to keep it cut and dry, Holmes, as real, drier than a fucking pinto bean. That's just what it is. You know what I mean? Hey, you know what I mean? You know what I mean? It's real. So now, you have this Vato Snoopy Badass, and he says that he was mad at his own people, the Africanos. And I respect the fact that he kept it within his own people, but I'm going to tell you how it correlates with Mexicans, with the Raza. He said, hey, homies, why are you guys exposing me to a whole bunch of people that ain't us? Why are you exposing me to a whole bunch of essays, and you're trying to expose me to a whole bunch of white boys? And anyone that watches YouTube, I mean, when it's out there, eh? You got some motherfucking Eskimo that's dropping fucking shit, trying to catch a salmon, like, oh shit, Snoopy done told on everyone. You know what I mean? He don't even know what's going on. People are influenced by what they hear rather than what they see and what they know. And that's a bad thing in this world, but that's what constantly goes on. And it gives characters like myself and other people bad names, bad reputations, bad stigmas. And now people, I don't fuck with that dude. Why? I don't know, because the homeboy said that. And I'm gonna rock with that. Okay, well, rock with it. Rock steady like a motherfucking Whispers beat. Because at the end of the day, the beat shall go on like a Whispers beat, if you know what I mean. I got too much game. Hey, the knowledge you can't get in college. Now, this Vato, Snoopy Badass, defended himself to his own people, and he said, hey, why are you guys exposing paperwork when on them yards, paperwork ain't even being checked correctly? Paperwork's not even being addressed. And I'm here to tell you, gente, I don't know if it is. I've heard rumors in the past that the brothers weren't checking paperwork quite extensively, or that if they had a homie come in from their hood, man, they justified a little bit of his actions or showed him love. But that ain't all Africano brothers, man. I'm here to say that right now. There's some motherfuckers that are harder than the Rolling Stones. They're harder than The Rock. You know, if you smell what he's cooking, they're hard as them. They'll put it down. You know what I mean? Neighborhoods, they're down for their shit. But at the same time, there's always been that stigma. People have always thought that myth that the brothers are not checking paperwork correctly, or that they're letting people wiggle with certain cases that maybe other ethnicities wouldn't let. But that's the key word, other. Not everybody's the same, homes. Not everybody's politics within them walls or outside of them walls is the same. And people need to understand and learn that. They have to understand that concept. That although we are all fellow man, and although we bleed the same way, and although we troop like an Oriental, and although we does our thing, we are not the same when it comes to our political makeup and what we believe in and how we push. With Mexicans, north and south, even the perro chatos, you already know it's more structured, homes. Traditionally, it's been that way. That has been founded and set in stone for a certain reason, to hold your own gente accountable, right? And there is no there's no gimmies there, homes. There's no, there's no wiggle room, that's it. You get no wiggle room. You're one and done for the most part. You might get a little DP, or you might get a little chequeada or a little regulation, you know, depending upon what side you're on. But in most cases, man, if it comes to that point where people have to put fingertips and toes on you, you're done. That's it. Cancel Christmas, be like the Grinch, and go live up in a mountain with a perro. That's it. And not a perro chato, because he might bite you because he's from Fresno. That's just how it be. Now, other races like the whites, the blacks, I never knew their policies because I never ingrained myself into that and educated myself on that. I knew pretty much that the white boys were going to do what they had to do just based upon they had not an alliance, but they had an association on that side of the yard with the Southsiders. And so that meant that the white boys, man, were going to be held accountable by the people that they were like associating with to handle their business. And the Woods did that, not because they were told to or because they feared that they had to, but because it was what's right. You know, you have to understand, prison is a different animal. It's a different world. It's the Matrix. I said, when you go in there, you go and mind somebody. Oh, you know you done fucked that right. You go and mind somebody. Whether you think you're that man, you're that one, Holmes, maybe you might become that one of these days. But until then, you know what you got to do? You got to get on out of here with that alley cat co-rat. Hush puppy crumb cake, I saw you with because you dismissed. Silly rabbit, tricks are made for kids. And if you want to be a trick and go over there and tricking like you got it, well, go do that. But you're not going to do that on a 4-yard, a 180 yard. It's not going to happen, Holmes. It ain't never going to happen. There's not too much that happens there. That's misery. Shout outs and respects to the Vatos doing that right now. That pushes as real as it gets. That's one of the most dangerous places you could be, any 4-yard in the state of California. High desert, stand up. You know, so now Snoopy Badass is saying the brothers, man, he feels left behind. He feels, you know, like these guys are going in on him and they're turning their back on him. And so he's mad, eh? And I don't blame him. I don't blame him by putting people on blast. Like, you want to put me on blast and expose me and take up with some Armenian. You want to take up with him and go against my grain, Holmes, all because there's a white guy in the back pulling the strings. Pull strings and Dick Baby winks at you. He's my puppet. Bump, bump. C-Mac would do anything if you want him to. He's Mac's puppet. Bump. And China Mac's over there like, thump, thump, right? They're getting theirs. Over there. Madam's got that sold up. You know, now he done brought G-Face in there, and now afterwards, he'll say anything if you want him to. He's a hood hopper, bump, bump, right? It's just all bad, right? Bobby Purify. You know. So those of you that do. Now, he's not saying anything about Mexicans, Snoopy Badass. He's not disrespecting the Raza. In fact, a lot of the Raza stand behind him and respect him and support his music. But he's calling his own people and putting his own people on blast. And you got a lot of the brothers saying, say what? Right? And the reason they're doing that is because they're feeling in the opposite, some other type of way. But I'm here to tell you, man, respectfully, gente, brothers, that, man, a lot of the things he's saying were true. You know, and that doesn't mean that the brothers are softer or don't hold people accountable. They absolutely do. That just means, gente, that they wiggle smoothly and differently. You know, this Vato said what he said, and he meant it from the heart. How would you feel if your own people are turning their back on you? You know, you're like, okay, you guys want to fuck with me? Well, it's a must. Say, fuck me? No, fuck you. I like your shoes. I like your pants. What are you here for? Good times, right? That Vato's not here for a good time. People are giving him a bad time. He's going to give him a bad time right back. I agree with Snoopy Badass and some of the things he said. He's absolutely correct, man. Hey, in prison and checking paperwork and all that, people like to fucking pick and choose and be fucking very, you know, oh man, this homeboy, this. They don't hold everyone accountable. Not everyone's on that same line, Holmes. Everybody's held into different regards based on who you are. I think that's bullshit, Holmes. I calls bullshit, right? And I've also Snoopy Badass said, hey, the essays don't do that. The Mexicans hold their people accountable. The Mexicans run up on people. Yes, we do. So Scott, no. Believe me, there's been many a times, man, where you had to turn your own back on one of your closest camaradas, your homeboys, just based on, man, he caught a faulty case or he said a little too much. It's just how it be. You know, Mexicans ain't, hey, no, oh, hell no, we won't go, right? It's you got to go, Humps. Straight up. Hey, you do want this? Come here. Pick up a pedazo and you know what it is. Hey, here's a couple, you know what I mean? Sopas and a couple jabones for the oil. That's it. Shoot the homies de Huila. Secure it. That's it. Now, when it comes to fucking the brothers, man, it is a little bit different, man. They play by different rules, you know. They're fragmented in groups. They do come together when it's something racial. But at the same time, man, they've been known to, you know, do some of their homeboys dirty, man, just based on. You know, it happens in every group, man. Don't let me sit here and bullshit you and say that the Mexicans don't do their people dirty too. There's a lot of fucking people that get done dirty. Dirty politics do come into play. But with what's going on with Snoopy Badass, man, that ain't a smooth criminal move. You know, that's Mike Jack, moonwalk back. It's not smooth what these guys are doing, letting other people, other races try to expose him, man. You have to defend your own people. If it was a black doing it to a Mexican, all the Mexicans would be mad, right? When Whack 100 says something about eating fucking carne asada burritos or standing in front of Home Depot or chili con carne, shit, we all came to Trese's defense, que no? North and South, everybody was like, what? You said what is it? You know what I mean? Show! Right? Young G's in the hood tried to come up. Everyone who was getting their North Side and South Side soldier on. That's because we come together as a people, just like the brothers, man. When the cops do something, they come together, they riot and they rally. You know what I mean? We do it like this in Cali, and they handle their business. So when you see someone else, man, you know, going in on your people, you're supposed to defend them, man. I don't like the way that was going down. I don't appreciate that. I don't respect it because G-Face knew better, homes. You don't do that to another race. You don't do that to another ethnicity because you're mad. What you mad about? Because he's over there getting his ring, ding, dong, to bring the ding, 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 dong on. Are you mad because he's on Death Row Records? You know, Death Row was the label that pays, man. Is that why, G-Face? Drive a fucking truck, I said. I'm telling you straight up, man. I just didn't like it. Snoopy Badass defended himself. He said a lot of derogatory things about the brothers that I'm not going to agree with and speak on. But at the same time, man, he kept it real, and that was his mind. And I agree with him on defending himself, period. Them's his people, man. Let his people deal with them, and he'll deal with his people. You know, he's not a bad individual. There's never been a shred of evidence to say otherwise, man. And it's funny how this fucking fat fucker with a whole bunch of tattoos on his cheeks wants to disrespect it. You got the puppet master in the back playing everyone out. Well, guess what? There's big surprises. Because at the end of the day, sometimes when you're throwing rocks from a glass house, it shatters and gets in your eyes. You know what it is, man. So when it comes to Mexicans and blacks and how we function, and I'm here to tell you straight up, we should never speak on the brothers' business like that, and they should never speak on ours. Now, if it's street shit, man, and we're just clowning this Whack 100 and we have some little shit to talk, we could do all that, homes. But when it comes to prison things and snitching allegations and pulling paperwork and all that, let your own people do that. You know, no one else is supposed to lay eyes on your paperwork. No one else is supposed to be abreast of something you got going on, especially by another race. I hate to get racial on it, and the aspect of it is just so real, but that's how it is, man. I'm just playing the cards that was dealt to me in life. And I know, man, there's rules and regulations to everything. Even when you take a step back and you don't function like that no more, there's still things that you can say and things you can't. With that being said, gente, I hope that you guys move smooth with a purpose. I hope that you get everything that you want coming to you. This was just a little clutch on the early morning shot because it's real, eh? You know I got to keep it real, man. Shout out to Snoopy Badass, a real one doing real things, man, and defending himself to his own gente. He didn't address Mexicans. He didn't address whites or Asians or the Usos. What's up, Sole? He didn't address none of that. He addressed it his own gente, man, and he felt some type of way, and you know what? I respect that about him. With that being said, move smooth with a purpose. Get everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, it's all about the defense of oneself. You got to handle your business, homie, because ain't no one going to handle it for you. If anything, they're going to shoot some papeles to someone else, and some fucking knucklehead is going to try to expose you, knowing damn well, homes, his exposure game is not up to par. You know what it is. Thumbs up or thumbs down. See, heavy is the head that wears a smooth-ass Lakers crown. King of the L.A. shit. You know what I mean? Lakers, Kobe, rest in peace. And you know what that is, man. I'm going to hold it down with the crown on my head, man. This is the gun low. Bang, bang.